Well, hey, greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to the best damn movie-related show on the planet Earth, the John Campea Show, coming from right here in our quaint little studio. I'm, of course, your host, John Campea. I'm joined by our technical producer, Jonathan Voico.
It's-a me.
Writer, director, producer, Robert Meyer Burnett.
Rest in peace, Jenna Fine.
And most importantly, you guys are here joining us for the show where we talk about our favorite things in the world, movies and movie news, TV and streaming, those things that give us joy. We're so glad that you guys are here to talk about that stuff with us. And here's how today's show is going to go. We're going to start off by talking about a few predetermined topics we got lined up for you guys. Then in the second part of the show, we're going to take your live comments and questions. To send in a live comment and question, well, first of all, you got to be watching the show when we're live. That's one thing. So if you're not watching this show live with us, you can't send in a question. But if you are watching live, you can send in a thought, theory, opinion, question, observation, point of view using the super chat feature in the live chat. Just send one on in there. And as long as your question or topic is appropriate for our show, we'll go ahead and address that in the second part of the show. All right, guys, before we get started, a couple of points of order to cover here. First of all, we start at the end of this week. I leave for the start of the next leg of our movie meetups.
Amazing.
Movie meetups are just a simple thing. I tell you guys a city, a theater, and a movie and a showtime that I'm going to be at. And then you guys can buy tickets to it too. We can all be there and watch a movie together. Then afterwards, I hang out for about an hour or so outside of the theater to meet people and take pictures and stuff like that. And we got the next leg coming up. And here it is. Starting in Dallas. Yeah, it's in the middle one. On Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, November the 18th, I'm going to be at the Cinemark Dallas XD and IMAX for the 6:55 screening of Running Man. The very next night, I'm going to be in Austin, Texas, at the Galaxy Theater Austin for the 7:20 screening of Now You See Me, Now You Don't. And then on Monday, November the 24th, we're going to be at the AMC Disney Springs for the 6:30 p.m. screening of Wicked for Good. And if you guys are in any of those cities and want to come by, say hi, that's the time to do it. And I'll look forward to seeing and meeting a lot of you guys at the movie meetups. And yes, there are more movie meetups to come. This is just the next leg. Also, one other point of business. I regret to tell everybody, I haven't told Jonathan or Rob this yet.
Oh, no.
They're going to hear this for the first time here. Today is the last episode of the John Campea Show. Now, some of you might be thinking to yourselves, this seems rather sudden. I understand. But you see, tonight is the $500 million Powerball draw.
Mm-hmm.
And Ann and I, we were in a convenience store yesterday. And she said, wow, it's a lot. Maybe we should get a ticket. And so we did, but I specifically asked the guy at the counter, please, I'd like to buy the winning ticket, please. And he sold it to me. Cool. So I'm going to kind of be really rich later.
It was a steal. He only charged him 10 times the normal rate.
Yeah. So, I mean,
can you finance a movie for me?
For the guaranteed, I will finance a movie for you. Once
you.
I win. I mean, again, I specifically asked for the winning ticket. So, yeah, guys, it's been fun while it lasted. It's been a good run.
But you said you wanted to make money and move home to that cool ranch in Hamilton anyway.
Yes. I moved back to the Campea Ranch. It'd be so cool. I'll buy the 3 adjoining ranches.
Or you could just travel the world and do movie meetups in every country on the globe.
I would probably do that too.
I'll do it too. I'll go. If you finance
and I'll
me.
even finance it.
Yeah, I was going to say that. If you do that.
There we go. Now I will say though, the one little shade of doubt here is that while we were in the store the other day, we also bought a ticket for the Mega Millions, the $900 million Mega Millions, because it was $900 million.
Right.
And I also asked the guy at the counter for the winning ticket. And, well, we won the draw last night. We won $10.
Nice.
Now, that's not what I had in mind when I said the winning ticket. So we'll see if he understood the assignment later tonight.
So can I still get a ticket for this? Because even if I if I won $5,000, that's a lot of Hot Toys.
I guess so. I mean, I don't know how lotteries work, but I guess you can buy them right up until whenever they go. Anyway, guys, so glad you're here at the show. By the way, I should mention, because I haven't mentioned this for a couple of days, you know, watching the John Campea Show on our YouTube channel is not the only way to take in the John Campea Show. another great way to do it, and what all of you should do, is subscribe or sign up, whatever, to our podcast feed. Because you can find our podcast, our audio-only version of our podcast, for when you're driving or at the gym, on a treadmill, whenever it's not convenient to have a YouTube video open. All of you should just go and subscribe to our podcast feed, so that way it's there when you need it, either on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Okay, guys. With all that down, let's get things started here, shall we? We're going to start off with this. Go pee before you see Avatar: Fire and Ash.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, hit that bathroom. Because while the other Avatar films have been long, what was here? The first one was 2 hours and 42 minutes. The second one was 3 hours and 12 minutes. And Jimmy C., James Cameron, good Canadian kid, said, I need a bigger canvas. I need more. So according to this AMC website for Avatar: Fire and Ash, it is now listing the runtime of Avatar: Fire and Ash at 3 hours and 15 minutes. 3.25. Not that much longer than the other one, but the other one was damn long. And I really liked Avatar: Way of Water. I thought the movie was great. Had a great time watching.
I'm an Avatar lover, not a hater.
3 hours and 15 minutes in an era right now. Because you remember a couple of years ago, even at the Oscars, they were making jokes about how long movies had started becoming. Last year or two, we've been seeing the overall run times get a little bit more reasonable. We don't see that many films peaking over the 3 hour mark now. But Jimmy C. says, I don't care about that stuff. To get all of my Na'vi goodness into this movie, we need 3 hours and 15 minutes. Now, I got to say, while I loved Avatar: The Way of Water, I would have shortened it up a little bit. I do think there were sections of the movie that could have been pared down and made a little bit tighter. I have a feeling I'll probably feel the same way about this one. Now, listen, we may watch this movie, Rob, and we may find out that 3 hours and 15 minutes is the perfect runtime for that movie.
I think Rob's already found that out.
I think Rob's already
Dude, all I can say is that's going to be one long ejaculation of excitement for me. Let me tell you.
It's going to be a long film, man. So yeah, do get in your bathroom breaks. And it kind of brings it, whenever we talk about a movie that's over 3 hours, I always go back to, I really think I need to start a campaign to reintroduce
catheters
in each of the reclining seats. But
Where do you think the fluid for the soda comes from?
An intermission. Because listen, at 3 hours and 15 minutes, Rob, even if it's the perfect runtime for this movie, there are going to be a lot of people that are going to miss a part of this movie, because for those people who buy sodas and whatever before the movie starts, they're going to have to go to the bathroom, and people are going and people are going to get interrupted or disturbed because they're going to have people going back and forth in front of them during the movie. This is why I say for movies like over 3 hours or close to 3 hours, should get an intermission. That's a side note. Anyway, Rob,
by Depends.
You're seeing this intermission sponsored by Depends. You're seeing this runtime, 3 hour and 15 minutes. What are you thinking?
Well, it makes me think of one of my top 5 favorite films of all time, The Right Stuff, which is also 3 hours and 15 minutes. So I'm thinking double feature. I can't wait to own this movie. I have my special editions of the Avatar films. I'm an Avatar lover, as you know, and I've been extolling the virtues of our Mordor Na'vi on this channel for at least 6 months. So when I heard this news, I did the Peanuts dance. You know that dance they do? And I can't wait, John. I'm so excited for this movie. And remember, it's not just 3 hours and 15 minutes. It's going to be 3 hours and 18 minutes of excitement, because we're going to get the Doomsday trailer first.
If it's 3 minutes long, which
I hope it is.
I hope it is too.
In my mind, it is.
I don't think it will be. But you know what we're going to have to do? First of all, Avatar, which will be the biggest film of the year, with an Avengers Doomsday trailer attached to it, however big or small. I think it's going to be time for us to do our next Ticket Watch live stream.
Ooh.
Because I think we're going to be talking about websites crashing. I think first I got to find out when the tickets go on sale. And if they go on sale at like 1 a.m., we're not doing a ticket watch stream. But I think we may just have to do a ticket watch.
Unless we do a 24-hour ticket watch and watch the tickets sell around the planet.
Yeah, I mean, so might have to do that. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? According to the AMC website, the largest movie theater chain in the world that always lists runtimes of their movies, they're listing Avatar Fire and Ash at 3 hours and 15 minutes, making it the longest of the franchise so far. And it'll be the longest movie I've seen in a bit. Whatever you guys think about it, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to this, shall we? See, oldest play in the book. Oldest play in the book. You know, I can say this with, like, I'm not even kidding. I'm not trying to be a bragger or anything. Do you know I've never asked a girl out and been turned down? It's never happened once in my life. Part of the reason for that, though,
The gun you're holding?
is because I have no game. And
I
like,
feel bad.
I have no game whatsoever. And every relationship I've ever been in has started with the woman taking the initiative and asking me. I've never been turned down when I've asked a girl out because I'm a coward when it comes to women. But you know, the oldest play in the book is, oh, I'm really into this girl. Oh man, she started dating somebody else. Oh, okay. No, I wasn't that into her. That's the oldest play in the book. Oldest one there is. You know, a guy asks a girl out to a prom. Then she finds out she accepted another guy's invitation to prom. And he says, I didn't really want to go with her anyway. Mm-hmm. I've got other options.
That's just a plate of copium right there.
Big steaming serving of copium. And we might be seeing a little bit of that coming out of Paramount right now. Because you guys know the first horse out of the gate in this big race to get Warner Brothers has been Paramount. They are the one leading the charge and trying to get it. And for all, the facts that we have spread around, whispers, innuendo, industry inside information, it has seemed like, while the gap is narrowed, that Paramount has been the front runner. They've been the betting favorites to get Warner Brothers. And everything we have heard from them has been definitive. Writing letters to the board of Warner Brothers saying, we're the best fit for you. Here's why you should do it. All this kind of stuff. Offering David Zaslav to be co-chair and CEO of the entire company. Well, for the first time ever, we might see a little bit of cracks in the armor. The folks over at CBM are writing, following months of Paramount looking like the most likely buyer for Warner Brothers, Paramount CEO David Ellison has cast doubt on his company's interest in the studio. He said the following. He said this: it's important to know that there is no must-haves for us. We really look at this as buy versus build, and we absolutely have the ability to build to get to where we want to go. Ellison then stated that Paramount can achieve success on its own terms. We believe we can achieve our goals with our creative content engines. We believe we can achieve our streaming goals and that we can drive enterprise efficiency and create value and long-term free cash flow generation all through the building. Further casting doubt on the potential merger, the Paramount CEO said that the company is in a position to be opportunistic when it comes to mergers and acquisitions. As it relates to mergers and acquisitions, everything for us is going to tie back to, does it accelerate those three core principles? We're fortunate that we have the balance sheet to be able to be opportunistic when we think M&A will accelerate our goals, but we're also long-term disciplined owner-operators. Basically, he said, I'm not sure I liked her that much anyway. And again, look, this may all be nothing. It very well could just be saying, hey, no, we're not desperate to get Warner Brothers. We believe to get to where we want to go, we can just build ourselves. We don't necessarily go up and buy Warner Brothers. It could just be as simple as that. But what's interesting to me is that having followed this story with great interest ever since that news first broke, every piece of publicly available communication has been, we want Warner Brothers, we're the best people to have it, and we think we're going to get it. Every bit of public communication surrounding this has been down that vein. And now, as the gap has been narrowing, we've been talking about how Netflix has secured a bank to help them put together a mergers and acquisition deal. Comcast NBC Universal has secured the services of a large financial institution to help put together a bid for it. We've heard that Apple is interested in it, that Amazon is interested in it. And I'm just saying, this is the first time we've ever heard Ellison say anything other, paint a picture that is anything other than a future where Warner Brothers belongs to Paramount. I don't believe their interest is waning. I think they really do want it. I suspect they may be seeing that it may not be as much of a foregone conclusion as they suspected. And they're laying early damage control with their own investors by saying, hey, look. Whether we get Warner Brothers or not, we're going to get to where we want to go. Which, by the way, is not the wrong thing to say. That's good leadership. You should be saying something like that. You shouldn't paint yourself into a corner. Anyway, Rob, we're hearing these comments now coming from Ellison. Do you feel like I do that, I'm starting to wonder that they doubt they're going to get it? Or is this just him kind of saying nice platitudes for his investors here? I don't know. What do you make of these statements?
Well, look, it's not like he's buying a car. He's buying a $75 billion studio, and he already has a studio. And it's like, I think that cooler heads have to prevail and go, okay, what are you going to do with this acquisition? What's your 10-year plan? And I don't mean the gods and monsters plan of the new DC universe. I'm talking about, what is your plan? Because basically you're buying something that is also doing what your acquisition of Paramount is doing. You're doing the same thing. You're just doubling it up now.
Right.
And I would say that, why not? Look, I don't think anybody should buy Warner Brothers. I think everybody should be focused on their core goals. He used the word enterprise in one of his quotes. Yeah, let's make some good Star Trek movies. Why don't you start there? Take some franchise that you own and make it great. There hasn't been a Star Trek movie in 9 years in the theaters. That could be something that, turn a franchise and make it awesome. By buying another studio, you saddle yourself with tons of more debt. You have to now overlook twice as many people and twice as many movies and twice as much stuff. And if you're not going to do that, you got to part it out. And I think that, what is your core business? What do you want to do? And if you want to make great entertainment, you want to have great TV shows, and you want to have a great streaming service, and you want to have great movies and great theatrical events, spend time doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we want. It's funny. We look at all these mergers and acquisitions. Have they made, Warner Brothers has had to endure two, AT&T and Discovery. And I think Discovery now, and what David Zaslav's swinging his axe, it's now gotten, the value.
It's in a good place now.
It's in a good place. I mean, and I would say that it's successful, at least if this year is any indication. If Pam Abdi and Mike DeLuca can keep the course, and you have creators that they're working with making exciting movies, they've got a great slate, coming up.
James Gunn and Peter Safran on their end.
And they just announced a Jimmy Olsen TV show that I'm really excited about.
Yeah, I wish I could be.
No, but I think
it's a weird time to hand it off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're on the upswing. Your team's doing well. And I think same with Paramount. They've made big moves over there. They've done a lot of things that we're excited about. They've made a lot of moves with a lot of creators. And I think for people that are fans like we are of great entertainment, it's an exciting time. And I think acquiring other studios has to be derailing in some respects.
Do they even understand what the corporate culture is over at Paramount yet? Has Skydance figured that out?
2,000 people.
Have they figured out the culture over there and the goals of what they want to
I don't know that they care what the culture is there. I think they're going to bring their culture and kind of put it like a
but that could be
skin over. Well, see,
that could be destructive. It's not just that simple.
That's been my main hesitancy about this whole thing about Paramount getting Warner Brothers.
You haven't hit the ground running yet with the one studio.
Well, that's the thing. Like, look, they have done a lot of things already there. They've positioned themselves to do some things that I think are pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Right? But like I said on the show the other day, it's all just theoretical right now. You haven't even shown, if you're Ellison and Skydance that just got Paramount, you haven't even shown that you can put out one movie yet.
Yeah.
With Paramount. Like, why don't you slow your roll a little bit? And I get the allure. The idea to quickly come in, I got daddy's money, I can come in and create this huge media empire and dominate the world of movies. I get it. I do. But on the practical thing, putting the fanciful fairy tales aside for a second, why don't you make one movie first? Why don't you make one series first? Why don't you get through your first quarter of actually owning Paramount and adjust to the system and figure out what you're doing with one major studio rather than two? And look, Rob, everybody knows I'm with you on this. I don't think Warner Brothers should sell, but there's no point in us even fantasizing about that because it is selling.
Yeah.
Because I completely agree. I don't want it to sell, but it is selling. And I'm not going to lose any sleep if Paramount gets it. For everything I just talked about with them not even showing that they can be a good steward of one studio yet, and I think they will be, but they haven't shown it yet. I would much rather, I think there's better synergy with an NBC, Comcast, Universal. I think there's better potential upside for us film fans if it's something like Apple, which is just a new player in the game anyway. Those are all the lesser of two evils. Again, I completely agree with you. I'd rather see it not sell, especially since they seem to have themselves back in a healthy place. But they are selling, so it's a matter of who. And if it's not Paramount, Rob, and again, you're like me, our first choice is them not to sell at all, but understand that they are going to sell.
Yeah, of course.
Who would you feel most comfortable with waking up tomorrow to find out Warner Brothers has sold to?
I mean, if anything, Apple.
I think I'm in agreement. I'm okay with NBC Universal too, but
Yeah.
I think I'm in agreement with you
The
on
cool
Apple.
thing about NBC Universal is they could build a sky bridge
Yeah,
from
exactly.
one corner of the
true.
Warner Brothers
Right over
lot.
at Smokehouse.
They
Yeah.
literally
right-
across
right-
the street.
right up Smokehouse.
They could call it the Smokehouse Sky Bridge.
Yeah.
George Clooney could buy it himself, and make it really huge, so you could go right over. That would actually be kind of dope.
Yeah.
They should do that anyway.
Make it one mega studio
Yeah,
lot.
like
and
one.
everything.
But build that sky bridge, buddy.
Yeah.
But it would be at the corner. You've got the two corners
Yep.
that almost meet up. So
Yep.
but no. The reason. Look, I think that Apple would basically keep the same thing. They'd keep Warner Brothers intact. They would have their own. Look. What another thing I want to see happen is production coming back to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And Warner Brothers has all those gorgeous sound stages. I mean, I shouldn't say gorgeous. No sound stages are gorgeous. They're just empty.
They are
buildings.
pretty great.
But they
though.
are
But
brand
yeah, I
new.
mean,
and they're updated. They're modern.
Yeah, man. Stage 16, I saw Joe versus the Volcano shot in there. I talked to Tom
well,
Hanks
they have
and
all
Meg
that,
Ryan.
where the ranch was.
But-
It was tragically destroyed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they destroyed the. Oh,
but now
man.
it's all sound stages. So come on.
Yeah, I mean that's what I would like to see. Apple, look, Apple did great having Warner Brothers release F1 for them. I think that what Apple should do is they now have a distributor. I know they've gone with A24 with something else recently, but I would say that if Apple's committed to theatrical, Amazon's got its own slate. I don't think Amazon would buy Warner Brothers. I mean,
Amazon acquires a lot of stuff.
I know, but I think that you look at their banging 2026 slate that we saw at CinemaCon, that was really impressive. And, everything from they've got Masters of the Universe coming out, they've got Project Hail Mary coming out.
Which
they've
again,
got,
I talked to somebody that saw an early cut of Masters of the Universe. I'm not backing it up. I'm just telling you what they told me. They said it's amazing. They said the new Masters of the Universe movie is amazing. Again, I don't want to sidetrack us.
Travis Knight is the perfect person
He's
to
the
direct
perfect
that,
director
and Guy
at that point,
Dias
yeah.
is the greatest production designer to work on that film. And what we saw at CinemaCon
Was impressive.
It was impressive, man.
Yeah.
I just want to see Idris Elba as Man at Arms, and I never thought I'd say that in my entire life. But
Imagine
I'm
that-
excited.
Imagine that streaming slate if Apple and HBO Max were to merge.
Oh my god!
Oh, because I'll tell you what, man, Apple's been doing it right. Like Apple as a streamer,
Oh.
Yeah.
they are the only ones to me that actually challenge HBO for quality, overall quality in their show. Anyway, guys,
Yeah, but if I can make an aside, Apple, where is For All Mankind season 5?
they're working on it.
Where's
They're working
Star
on it.
City, bruh? Come on.
All right, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? I mean, it's kind of been just assumed and accepted that really the front runner for getting Warner Brothers has been Paramount. Is this the first crack in that armor? Does it maybe kind of look that maybe Paramount doesn't even think they're the front runners now? Or is it much ado about nothing, which it very well could be? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right. With that down, let's go on and talk about this. You know what I haven't heard from in a while? Gore Verbinski. I haven't heard from Gore Verbinski in a while. And that's a shame because I like Gore Verbinski. And you know what?
I do too.
I haven't really heard from Sam Rockwell since that terrible spy movie he did with Henry Cavill and
Right.
Ron Howard's daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it called?
What's Ron Howard's daughter's name again? Why am I free? I love her.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Bryce Dallas Howard, yeah. Whatever
love
the
her
name of that
too.
movie was, and I'm trying to put out of my head, Argyle.
Yeah.
Argyle.
Argyle.
Argyle. But Sam Rockwell is a treasure.
So is
Well-
Bryce Dallas Howard.
I remember last year hearing word about this Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die movie. And then I never heard anything about it since. But today, a trailer dropped for Sam Rockwell's new film, Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, which is a great title, by the way.
Yeah.
Love it. And as is put out here in IndieWire, Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die teaser. Gore Verbinski's first film in 9 years is a tongue-in-cheek sci-fi adventure. And they put out their first trailer. And I got to tell you what, this feels like two different things. Well, no, I'll say right. This feels like an A24 movie. Totally feels like an A24 movie. It also feels pretty low budget. Actually, let me take that back. It feels extremely low budget. And by the way, speaking of people we haven't seen in a beat, Zazie Beetz is in there.
Yeah.
Who I thought was positioned for a while there to be like the next Julia Roberts.
And Michael Pena, too.
And Michael
Yeah.
Pena, who we don't see enough of. He's amazing. So the cast is great. And I'm just telling you, from the moment this trailer starts, guy, I'm from the future. I'm here to save the world. So it's just, you look like you're homeless. It's every beat of this trailer I thought was absolutely fantastic. And by the way, like take a look at this cast list. Sam Rockwell, Michael Pena, Juno Temple, who I love,
I do too.
Haley Lou Richard, I love, Zazie Beetz is in there. Oh, and by the way, it already screened at a couple of film festival. And look at all these tomato. I believe it was at 96%. 94%. Granted, 16 reviews. I think only one negative one.
Right.
But all the rest of them loved it. This is one of these, Rob, I love it when a little movie sneaks up on us. This looks terrific. The reviews for it are great. I can't wait to see Sam Rockwell in something that I love again, unlike Argyle. So I love this. Rob, what did you think of the trailer?
I thought the trailer was great, but the guy who wrote this movie, do you remember that movie that came out called Monster Trucks?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
He wrote that too.
That's not a good sign.
I was just going to point it out.
Why did you have to dump water on this? That is not a good sign at all.
I would say this. I would give it up for the man who wrote Monster Trucks because that was pretty audacious. They got that made. And I remember, I think I was talking with that when that trailer dropped with you, back in the day. And we're like, what the hell? But look, I think this trailer looks great. Sam Rockwell looked great in it. It looks absolutely bananas. And to be fair, this is right up my alley. I mean, I love stuff like this. So, and Gore Verbinski is an incredible stylist. He directed the first Pirates of the Caribbean. He directed Lone Ranger, which a lot of people would say was a misfire, but there's some incredible,
I
incredible.
hate that movie, but my dad loves it.
There's
My dad
incredible
loves it. I
stuff
don't know
in
why.
it. But I got to tell you,
Don't forget, he also directed Rango.
and
And I like Rango, and people crap on that movie.
I know a lot of people that love Rango.
he
Good.
did the remake of Ringu, the American with Naomi Watts of The
right,
Ring.
The Ring, yeah.
That movie is a banger. I mean, The Ring holds up. The visual, he's a great visual stylist, and I want to see him come back because I'm a fan. I did not love The Cure for Wellness.
I didn't think it was bad. That had Dane DeHaan in it, right?
Yeah, I didn't think it was bad. It was just like all over the place.
You know what he did with Nicolas Cage that I really like, though? The Weatherman.
Yeah.
That was a really nice little underappreciated movie. I thought that one was really quite
So,
good.
look, plus his first name's Gore.
Yeah, which is pretty
dope.
cool.
This looks like every kid that works behind a cash register now.
Yeah.
Every time I walk in a restaurant or a hostess, that's what I'm greeted with. So
Look,
it's pretty true to life.
The bottom line is, though, I think the trailer looks great.
Yeah.
The reviews are very solid. I'm looking forward to seeing this thing. Guys, question is for you. What do you think about this and the trailer for Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die? It's also a great name, just a great title for the movie. Whatever you guys thought about it, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to this. You know, amongst names like, John Williams and a few other greats, one of the truly great today composers for films is Michael Giacchino. But lest you forget, he's also dabbled a little bit in directing. I present to you that little one-shot special feature he did on Disney Plus for Marvel, Werewolf by Night, which was really surprisingly good.
Really good.
I don't think one of the best things Marvel's done, but it was really good for what it was. Short, but sweet. It was really fun. Now, Marvel then kind of said they were done making their special features, which is too bad because Werewolf by Night and that Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special.
Yeah, they're just so fun.
The Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special is now my favorite Christmas movie. It's my favorite Christmas movie. It just is. I loved it. I thought it was so great.
More so than Die Hard?
Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. Let me repeat. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. Just ask Bruce Willis. Anyway.
You can't.
Well,
That's
too soon, Rob. Too soon.
It's literally ongoing.
But, I mean, but a lot of people were kind of wondering, do you think we'll ever get a Werewolf by Night 2? Because people seem to really like it. Well, according to Michael Giacchino himself, yes. This comes to us from Superhero Hype. Michael Giacchino confirmed during Deadline's Sound and Screen film event that his next project will be a follow-up to Werewolf by Night. The filmmaker said, if you haven't seen it, watch it. It's on Disney Plus if you still have that, which I thought was pretty hilarious that he said that, referencing his 2022 Marvel Studios special presentation. This statement confirms development on a sequel to Werewolf by Night. It also marks Giacchino's return to directing with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The first Werewolf by Night was shot in early to mid 2022 and released on Disney Plus during Halloween that year. Based on that timeline, production on the sequel could begin soon, with potential release window around Halloween 2026. Giacchino described directing as his original goal, adding, as a composer, it's a very solitary thing. I miss that interaction with a group of people. Anyway, look, for what it was, I thought Werewolf by Night was very entertaining.
Me too.
I had a very good time watching it. Now, granted, it wasn't meant to be The Godfather. It wasn't a fully fleshed out thing, whatever. And you know what else? Despite the fact that they said this is MCU, it felt very separate from the MCU, which kind of works with Marvel's new philosophy of they're going to try to kind of keep their Disney Plus stuff and their movie stuff a little bit more separate, a little bit more at arm's length. I mean, yeah, they're going to acknowledge they all exist in the same universe, but they're going to keep them separate a little bit. I love this news, Rob. I've been wanting to see a sequel ever since I saw the original. I had given up hope that we were going to see it. This sounds good to me. What do you think? Too late, or is this good news?
Dude, I'm a huge look. The great thing about Werewolf by Night for me is that Werewolf by Night is tied to Moon Knight, because Moon Knight has a history with Werewolf by Night in the comics, at least in the early comics when Moon Knight was good. But no, I love this. And you know what I really loved about the first Werewolf by Night is that I thought it was the beginning of them building out the supernatural side of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Which I guess we should have known they wouldn't do that with a little Disney Plus special. But
well, I mean,
I
it started
agree with you.
to, you know, having Seeing Man Thing in there, and I really loved it. There you go. That's early on. That's pre.
I still want a nice copy of that. That's a get for me.
I mean, yeah, it's so great. I'm a huge fan, and I can't wait to see this. I thought he did a great job. Everything about this, I love the presentation. Look at that logo with
I loved it. This was a throwback to like
so
the Wolfman, and obviously, and you know, the Universal.
You know, and it's funny.
That
like you. I mean, I thought with Werewolf by Night, with the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special, they proved that these shorts could really work. I mean, and you remember early on when they would include them on physical media, you know, they did the one with Clark Gregg, and there was another one with Ben Kingsley in prison.
Oh, the one-shots.
The one-shots, those were great. I mean, they did a really good, and I think that was another thing that Marvel did early on that was really fun, that was inclusive, and that's what these one-shots were, and I thought they were good. I mean, this one was particularly good.
I liked it in color and black and white.
Yeah.
Here's a question, though. If them going back to make this, would this be like a proper feature-length film? Is it going to be another special presentation?
Like a 40-minute.
40 minutes. And if it is another special, because look, we are getting a Punisher one.
Yeah.
Does this mean Marvel is full-fledged returning to being open to making special presentations if somebody comes to them with the right pitch?
I hope so.
I hope so too.
I mean, because again, it's hard to make a return on investment argument.
is.
Like, there's no way to make money off these, but I kind of like them.
I
It'd
do
be nice
too.
to see them do more of these. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Giacchino is saying he's going to do a Werewolf by Night 2. Excited to see it. I hope it's more feature length, but it's okay if it's like special presentation length. We are getting one for the Punisher. Whatever you guys think about this, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to this, shall we? Under the category of taking the wrong lesson, Universal Studios has just announced, this comes from the Hollywood Reporter, that Sabrina Carpenter is going to star and produce in a musical Alice in Wonderland for Universal, basically trying to replicate the success they've had with Wicked. And they're even getting the Wicked producer. Wicked producer Mark Platt, Alloy Entertainment, Lorraine Scafaria, hope I'm saying her name right, who made the 2019 Jennifer Lopez crime drama Hustlers, which was really good, by the way.
I like that a lot.
Are also a part of this tea party. It says the following. Think of it as going down a rabbit hole with a shot of espresso. Superstar Sabrina Carpenter is set to star in and produce an untitled movie musical based on Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland for Universal Pictures. Lorraine Scafaria, perhaps best known for writing and directing Jennifer Lopez's starring crime movie Hustlers, will pen and helm the future. Okay. I'm not going to bury the lead here. Massive eye roll. Instead of actually doing it, I'll say it. Massive eye roll. And look, with Wicked, I get it. Wicked was a global sensation on stage, an absolute global phenomenon on stage.
Based on a book.
Based on a book.
Well, this would be based on a book too.
And this is true.
Sure, yeah.
But a absolute global sensation.
Yeah, an already established massive play.
Yeah, with a huge following.
Yeah.
Went out and literally got... Look, I am not a fan of Ariana Grande. Okay? I'm not a fan of... her music's not for me. I'm not a particular fan of her material. But that aside, her and Cynthia Erivo, you're an idiot if you don't acknowledge that they are two of the most elite vocalists on the planet. They just are. Cynthia Erivo is a Tony Award-winning Broadway star with some of the most vocally amazing pipes in the world. Ariana Grande, look past her Playboy bunny ears and all the nonsense. Just go watch that video Rob and I were talking about the other day, where in like 5 minutes, she impersonates like 10 of the greatest female vocalists of all time.
She's also one of the funniest. I mean, I don't know how smart she is, but she's got a wit and a humor about her and talent to burn. I mean, I don't love her music, John, but I love her.
Right.
They call her the songbird of our generation.
So
Is that true?
anyway, she got a little background and all that kind of stuff. But
Brothers.
so they went out and got two of the most gifted female vocalists in the world, award-winning people, all this kind of stuff, to make a movie around a global sensation of a stage play. And look, much like Ariana Grande, Ariana Grande's music is just not for me. I mean, again, no shade on Ariana Grande. It's just her music's not for me. Ridiculous vocalist, not for me. My wife, Ann, when we were driving into LA the other day, she got the new Sabrina Carpenter album and, she was playing it. And I had a reaction to it that I don't have to Ariana Grande's music, because Ariana Grande's music's not for me. But my reaction to Sabrina Carpenter, we got about into the 5th song of the album, and I said, this is really quite terrible. None of these songs are good. And she is just 2 shades above a lounge karaoke singer. She is a T-Move version of Ariana Grande.
Oh, no.
Now, I'm sorry, but she is not in the same universe of a vocalist as a Cynthia Erivo or as an Ariana Grande. She's just not. I'm sorry, but she's not. And if there was another global stage play that was kind of based on Alice in Wonderland, that became a global sensation and phenomenon. But if Universal is just taking away from the success of Wicked, just take a pop star and put her in one of these classic tales.
Yeah, just manufacture it.
That's the formula.
Yeah.
I'm afraid they're in for a real rude awakening. And by the way, Taylor Swift popping up in a couple of movies prove that just because someone is a big music star, I don't mean people are just going to show up in droves.
Yeah.
Look at the couple.
And Cats had a book, and Cats was a successful
And look
Broadway
what
show.
that's what this is going to be. This is going to be the new Cats. This isn't going to be the next Wicked. This is going to be the next Cats.
Oh man.
Again, if they think the formula coming out of Wicked is just get any pop star and any tale. That's going to be that there. It's going to be our next $800 million film. I think they're in for a rude awakening because I'm sorry, but Sabrina Carpenter, and again, I'm not intentionally trying to cast any shade, but if we're going to contrast and compare, she ain't no Cynthia Erivo. She ain't. And if you think just putting a pop star in a movie is going to attract an audience, Hollywood history would disagree with you. And so I don't know what the logic behind this is. And I hope it's great. I hope this is one of those situations that happens to me a few times every year where a movie that I think looks ridiculous and I go see it and go, holy crap, that was great. I honestly hope that happens here. I want to love every movie and I hope every bit of success on this thing. But as a pundit who's got to take some guesses as to whether or not this will work, this seems to me like folly, Rob. To me seems like folly. Anyway, you see this. What do you think?
Well, the thing that we're talking about with Wicked is it's based on a hit Broadway show, which means the book was written, the songs are written, we knew what we were going to get. Mm-hmm. This is being built from the ground up as a musical based on L. Frank Baum's Alice in Wonderland, and there's no music. And I don't know how much in cinema history, how many successful musicals have there been where the music was written directly for film, that it didn't come out. I mean, everything from West Side Story to Rocky Horror Picture Show to Wicked, they were all Broadway plays first.
Greatest Showman.
Oklahoma.
That's the only one I can really think of.
Okay, you know what? That's a good one. That's a good one.
But it proves your point because that's the only one I can think of.
That's a good one, though. But I forgot about that. And that was legitimately, I like Greatest Showman a lot. I think the music is really good. I'm not saying it can't be done. But most of, I just think that the translation from, and there's probably more. I'm not a big musical. It is not my area of cinematic expertise. And there's even been musicals that aren't good. I didn't like the movie version of Rent. I didn't like the movie version of Chorus Line.
I didn't like the movie version of Rent either.
No, and I saw the Broadway play, which I loved. And, sometimes
did not translate well.
It didn't translate. I mean, the first one I really loved when I was a kid was when I saw The Wiz. I love The Wiz. I eased on down that road, let me tell you. And I think that it's hard to do. I get it. That what is Hollywood? What are they known for? This was successful. Let's make something just like it. It's hard to do. Hard to do. So, look, if it works, hey, I think it could be cool. But I mean, do we need to see Alice in Wonderland yet again?
Well, I mean, listen, let me play devil's advocate for a second here. Alice in Wonderland, in and of itself, is really warped. I mean, it's really, really out there, right?
Yeah, it could make for a great musical.
It could make for a great musical. If you want to take, like, the whole premise of Wicked is taking a lot of liberties with the story of Wizard of Oz. If they take a lot of liberties with it and kind of tell a new kind of version of Alice in Wonderland, there could be some stuff here that is really cool and really rich. My one thing, though, is just I wish they had then also gotten out to get other literally world-class elite powerhouse vocalists to do it rather than just the flavor of the month pop star. But again, let me call myself out on this. I'm going to take you back about 15 years, Rob. 15, 14 years, right?
Those are the
I was
days.
at my buddy Chuck Norris's house. That is his real name. His real name is Chuck Norris. He's editor. I'm a big Hollywood editor now. He was the editor for me on a few things. and me and some friends were over at Chuck Norris's house, and we were watching, I can't remember which award show. We were watching some music awards. And a hot artist at the time by the name of Taylor Swift
Never heard of her.
won some award, right? And I said, no one's even going to remember who this girl is in 3 years. Still waiting on that. So I just want to call myself out for that. I want to put that out there that, hey, I've thought that before 15 years ago, and I was dead wrong. I would love, you know what experience I want to replicate here, Rob? Because again, I have all the doubts in the world in this. I think this is a terrible idea. But, I hope my experience watching this Alice in Wonderland will be akin to when Lady Gaga sang Sound of Music at the Oscars. So I remember, like, we all just knew Lady Gaga as this pop star. And they announced at the Oscars, I mean, to sing, from the Sound of Music, Lady Gaga.
Yeah, I remember thinking like, okay, this will be...
All of us did, Jonathan. All of us. We went, oh, this is going to be rough.
It's like,
You're going to try to come out there and do Julie Andrews? Really? Oh, God, buckle in. Or she's going to do some watered down pop version of it to make it easier. And then Lady Gaga came out on stage and she blew the roof off. And we were all like, can somebody get me her email address so I can personally write her an apology? I think the world felt that way, right?
And since we're talking about musicals, even though A Star is Born was the third version of A Star is Born?
Or fourth.
There was still new music for that movie. And Lady Gaga, unbelievable.
Well, by then we knew. This girl just ain't a pop star. But I don't expect we're going to have that same experience with Sabrina Carpenter because I don't think her vocals are all that good. But I will honestly say I'm going to go in and I'm going to hope to have my feet, burned on this. I would love for it to be great. I just got to be honest. I have my serious doubts that this is a good idea at all.
And I think the director, she's pretty cute too, by the way. That picture is good of her. But she must have an interesting take. That's interesting to come out with this particular director.
Hey, she did Hustlers, man.
I know, and I really liked
damn
Hustlers
good.
a lot. And I'm sure that Mark Platt, he's not stupid. So to find out that this director probably came to him and probably has an idea and a vision.
Or is this Universal saying we got to make our next Wicked?
Well,
we want to get you guys to do it for us.
That could be too.
$10 million.
I just think this is kind of odd. So I think there's a reason why it's getting made. I think that it's happening because there's got to be something behind it that's driving this. Somebody going, oh, Universal knows something we don't.
Oh, no, I'll tell you what's driving it. Universal is saying we need our next Wicked.
Sure, but
and that's the pessimist in me. But again, it sounds terrible and it sounds weird to say on the one hand, this is a terrible idea. And yet on the other hand to say, I really do hope it works, but both are true. I think this is a terrible idea and it won't work, but I really hope it does. And we'll see what happens.
If Universal wants its next Wicked, it could have combined Jurassic World with the musical of Wicked and have singing dinosaurs.
No, if they wanted their next Wicked, they should have got a hold of Stone and Parker, and they should be doing their musical version of Book of Mormon. That would be their next Wicked.
Yeah.
Get the right
no
vocalist.
Paramount's going to do that.
Huh?
Paramount's going to do that.
All right, guys. Question is for you. What do you think about this? Apparently, they're going to make a musical version of Alice in Wonderland with Sabrina Carpenter producing and starring in it. And hey, it's got the director of Hustlers in it and or directing it, and that's not a small thing. Whatever you guys think about it, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to this, shall we? Under the category of maybe I'll do that, and by the way, I'm doing it, Josh Brolin kind of came out and said, this is the headline we get from our friends over at Games Radar. It says, Thanos star Josh Brolin says he would return to the MCU pretty quickly if Avengers Endgame director Joe Russo asked him to, which he might have already done. By the way, I will do this if X happens. By the way, X may have already happened, is kind of what he's saying. Let's go into the article here and see exactly.
Kevin Feige's going like, don't.
Yeah, dough indeed. Let me see if I can actually find. I lost my place in here. Listen, I'd do anything for Joe Russo, said Josh Brolin in an interview with Entertainment Tonight when asked if he would ever return to the MCU as Thanos. If Joe Russo comes to me, which he may have, I don't know, has an idea, then I might acquiesce probably pretty quickly. All right. Jonathan, you might as well bring it up now because I know you're always aching to bring up this image because it's a damn good one. We all know, for any of us who know the story of Secret Wars, there is one of the most iconic frames ever. And it's got Doctor Doom and a little character by the name of Thanos, where Doctor Doom is confronted by Thanos and without a fight even happening, just punches his hand right through his chest and Predator style just rips out his spine and skull in one swoop while the baggy flesh falls to the ground of Thanos. So for anybody who knows the story of Secret Wars, which again, Doomsday and Secret Wars are all kind of wrapped up together, any of us who just know would already kind of think, wonder if Thanos is going to pop up in this. Because it's a pretty key moment in the story in the comic book. Not that the movie has to include it. They always take liberties with it. Absolutely they do. But it would be a shame if one of these most iconic moments in comic book frame history didn't actually happen in the movie. That would be a shame. So for Josh Brolin to come out and say, hey, if Joe Russo, I love Joe Russo. If he asked me to do it, I'd absolutely do it. By the way, he may have already asked me to do it.
That's such a Josh Brolin thing to do.
It's such a Josh Brolin thing to say. Now, you add that with the fact that those frames are already in there. Like, he's not saying this in a vacuum.
No.
It's not like there's no precedent for this.
And who doesn't want to see that?
Yeah. And who doesn't want to see it? So that combined with that, and let me throw this out there. Rob and I were talking about this before the show started today. When you understand and take into consideration that whole notion we've been talking about this whole time, ever since they announced Doctor Doom, the conversation has been, well, you got to introduce him into it in a big way, because in Infinity War, even if you didn't see anything else, you knew right away, oh my God, this Thanos dude is a major problem, because they start off with the movie with him beating up Hulk. Mm-hmm. If they wanted to move events and things around, which they always have in Marvel, they've used elements from other comics in completely different movies just because they're great. You start off Avengers Doomsday with some landscape and Earth 872 pops up in the bottom. And it starts with Thanos and Doom.
Or the planet Titan.
Or on Titan or anywhere.
Yeah.
In the Bahamas. And
that's
you
where Venom is.
Start off Avengers Doomsday with Doom taking who has been the biggest bad in all of the MCU and just thank you and pulls his spine out. Because we've been talking about who should Doom take out to kind of establish himself. Should it be Hulk again? Should it be Sentry? Could it be Scarlet Witch? Could it be, I don't know, pick a name. That would be an awesome way to start this whole thing.
Especially if they have like a philosophical conversation before it happens. You know, like Thanos knows what Doom's going to do. You know, and we'll
by the way, short thing before I lose it, Corn Dizzle in the live chat is saying if they really want to have balls, show him doing that in the trailer. Ooh, I just heard choirs singing. You put that in a Doomsday trailer? Every door is being blown off, man.
It'd also be a great way to end the trailer.
Oh, or end the trailer? Oh.
But you know what? Okay, can I offer you a devil's advocate position?
Absolutely.
The only problem that I have with this is, again, it's kind of gimmicky. It worked in Secret Wars. Like, I could see opening Secret Wars with this.
I think this is more of a Secret Wars thing.
Yeah, it's a Secret Wars opening because you could have Thanos if Thanos just is there, you're going from Endgame. If you just think about the Avengers movies and you're going right from Endgame and Thanos was already kind of defeated. and then he comes back. I mean, he has to be established from a different universe.
I
He's
don't
still
think
some
so,
kind of a threat.
because Thanos is still Thanos, and it's been years since Endgame.
I know, but if you're
And-
watching him, like if you watch the Avengers movies in order, to just open with that, Secret Wars, it would work really, really well, because you're creating one. If you're creating Battle World, a Thanos from one of the other realities could show up. But it would be interesting if Thanos played a role in Doomsday, and we're going to carry that role over.
I don't want to see him
and then kill him.
All I see the need for Thanos is, because honestly, I kind of feel like, look, we've had many years of Thanos. We need to move. I don't want him to play a role in the movie.
But you have to establish why he's alive again. You know, it's
Earth 827.
Yeah,
the
but-
Marvel Cinematic Universe, that's all they've done for the last few years, is establish there's a multiverse.
right, but then there's 25 different Thanoses.
Oh,
you know?
absolutely. 100%. Absolutely. I don't disagree with you at all. But showing to just start off and just use Thanos as that mechanism to just establish, without words said,
Right.
this is now the biggest threat the MCU has ever faced.
It's true.
It could work. And then I don't want any more Thanos. We need to move beyond Thanos.
But with
this
at least
point.
with Secret Wars, you'd know that there's only one left, because it's crushing down the universes into the one. That's all.
Yeah, I would love to establish Doom with him. I mean, look, for the record, I don't think they are.
Right, yeah.
I don't think they are.
I think, but it
But it would be a great way to just establish the threat level of the character instantly and then move on. It
the
would be
thing is,
kinda cool.
what was cool though about Infinity War is it was playing off what came before in Thor, you know, and you saw what happened to Asgard. So you're building off that. Like, already it was in a tragic position, and to see these poor Asgardians that escaped Asgard then get victimized by Thanos was even worse. You know, you're building on this horrible thing that happened with the wake of what Hela did to Asgard, and then Thanos shows up and kills half the Asgardians that are left. That was a bummer, dude.
Yeah.
You know, and then casts Hulk away. So that was one of the great openings. If you're thinking about, like, if you had to make an Avengers movie, how you were going to follow that up, that was one of the great choices ever, I think, in fantasy film history, to open with Thanos killing Loki and beating the hell out of Hulk. That was an audacious.
100%
That was
I
so
agree.
good.
Yeah.
It was so good. And then the Black Order and Thanos just leave. They wreck shop and leave, and it was so good. God,
Got
I
what
love
they
those
came
movies.
for. Got what they came for. All right, guys. Question is for you. What do you think about this? Listen, it may be much ado about nothing, right? Josh Brolin may just be trolling everybody, which is very possible. I kind of think there's something to it here.
Yeah,
He's
he
saying-
doesn't. He likes to have fun.
Yeah, saying, yeah, I'll absolutely do it if Joe Russo asked me to do it. He may have asked me to do it. So maybe he's trolling everybody. Maybe it's the thing. Whatever you guys
It's
think
better
about
than
this,
the alternative.
jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to this, shall we? You know, while there were some threads I couldn't quite get on board with, and I didn't particularly love the season finale, I really enjoyed watching Alien Earth. I thought Alien Earth was really great. I mean, again, I wasn't totally satisfied with how it ended, but the overall journey, I mean, there were some episodes in there that I was just blown away by, and overall, I really loved it. Now, I had heard a while ago that they had already greenlit season 2, but it is now official, as Deadline is telling us that Alien Earth has been renewed for season 2 as creator Noah Hawley re-ups his overall deal with effects and Disney Entertainment. By the way, they're saying Noah Hawley's overall deal is 9 figures, which means it's over $100 million, his deal, just for him, which is...
Well, he's a powerhouse. I mean, the Fargo series that those seasons are
Legion.
great. Legion was terrific. This was...
And let's not forget, speaking of Dr. Doom, before Disney bought Fox, Fox was developing a Dr. Doom movie with him writing it. And whatever that could have ended up being. Look, I know there were some people who didn't like the ending of, Alien Earth season 1. I'm one of them. I am. But man, I'm fascinated by the philosophy in it and a lot of the big moral questions it raises. And the fact that they even got into near the end of the season, is it actually you? Or is the real you actually there in that tomb, in that grave? Like, you're not who's in that grave. You're a digital copy of some mind patterns that they have, but you're not her anymore. You're a totally, like, it just raised all these questions I used to ask as a kid when dealing with these sci-fi things. And some of the violence in it was absolutely delicious. So I'm actually quite thrilled that we're getting a season 2. I never judge a series by its finale. I judge it by the overall experience. For example, I loved Peacemaker season 2. Didn't like the finale though. I just be honest, I didn't like the finale, but I love the overall season. So I'm excited about this, and I'm glad they're finally making it official. Anyway, Rob, were you surprised to hear that they've greenlit season 2? And where would you like to see it? What kind of directions would you see, or even more philosophies to employ in the show would you like to see them take?
Look, I like you, I enjoyed watching Alien Earth, but I thought it was so all over the place. Like it had great ideas, then it had some not so great ideas. I didn't like the fact that a lot of the human characters did a lot of stupid things. I don't like one of the great things about the Alien franchise is that in the first Alien, the characters in that movie are actually, even though they're blue collar workers, they're all really smart. They do really smart things, but they're just ill-equipped to deal with the alien threat that has been unleashed against them. No one's ever seen it, but they play it right. Whereas in Alien Earth, there was so many times, like, how do you have a lab full of the deadliest organisms on Earth that sometimes people are watching over it, sometimes they're not? You know, there's people are opening doors. Oh, I can't see it in there. Or maybe I'm going to go in and feed it. Like, I mean, there was too much of that, and that bothered me. I'm like, but there was really, like you said, all of these intriguing ideas about the synths and the idea of, and the what is real and what isn't. I mean, that plays in. It goes in and plays to the Blade Runner deal. Do replicants have souls? You know, and in Blade Runner, you find out that they do, and that's why it's important Rick Deckard is not a replicant. But anyway, it's a show that I thought was intriguing enough that I will sign up for the second season and see where it goes. Because I think they know what worked and what didn't, and they'll lean into the smarter stuff. And I want to see what happens, and I did like the world building. The different corporations and how Wayland Yutani worked.
Yeah, the whole conglomerate of the big corporations.
Yeah, I just, when Kid Cavalier comes into a big corporate meeting and puts his bare feet on the desk and stuff, it's hard for me to take that character seriously. You can play that in a different way. I'm like, okay, come on. You're a little over the top there. When you go into a corporate environment, you still want people to take you seriously. And I'm looking at that going,
I'm going to push back on that. I have been in a meeting where a CEO came waltzing in bare feet. I've been there. I've seen, and I think that was consistent with the character.
Yeah, I do. I know. I'm just like, I didn't like that. I didn't like it because I think a character like that would want to come off as intelligent to other people. And I know they had the whole thing with the Peter Pan elements.
But when you're
he is Peter Pan.
When you're so egotistical that you beyond a doubt believe you are smarter than everybody in the room, you kind of don't care anymore.
I know.
Again, it rubbed me wrong with the character, but it was completely consistent with that character.
Sure.
So
I just felt the show was inconsistent about certain things. Because if he was so genius, why would he run a lab the way he ran the lab?
It's kind of like having a big dinosaur lab that can be completely sabotaged by a Snicker bar wrapper.
I hated that too. But I do want to see a Jurassic Park musical.
That could be interesting. All right, guys. Question is for you. What do you think about this? I mean, we've known it was coming, but still, it is now official. Alien Earth Season 2 is coming. What lessons, like Noah Hawley has made some of the most incredible stuff out there. What lessons do you think he needs to take from his experience making Season 1 and carry over? What strengths should he double down on? What weaknesses from Season 1 do you think he needs to course correct on? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to this. I was not ready for a Mario Brothers trailer to drop this soon, but yesterday we got word that today they'd be dropping the first trailer for the Super Mario Brother Galaxy movie. And I thought, that's cool. It's going to be a little 30-second, I'm a back, and then a title screen, and that'll be it, right? But no. Today, as mentioned in CBR here, Brie Larson made her official Super Mario debut in a must-watch Mario Galaxy trailer, full 2-minute, 30-second trailer. They dropped for this. And they played it smart. They started off the whole thing with Bowser. And now he's shrunk down and all kind of stuff. Hey, Luigi. Sup, Mario? Which was great. The whole big, oh, you know what? I felt so bad for Bowser. He was all excited to show his art to Luigi.
And it was good.
And it was good stuff. Really well done. And he was actually honestly excited to show it. And then Mario was an asshole to him. It's trash. I felt bad for Bowser.
I did too.
My heart broke for Bowser. Luigi trying to be a good guy there. Anyway, look. I don't think it was earth-shattering, the trailer. But I think it knew the assignment and it accomplished it.
Yeah.
You know, let the world know it's coming. It's like, feel it's still got all that same DNA that the first one does. And I think people who are looking forward to this movie saw this and probably got even more excited. I thought it was a good trailer. I'm looking forward to seeing, again, I don't think Mario Brothers 2 is going to be a billion-dollar film like the first one was, but it is still going to be ridiculously successful. We got our first look at Princess, I always say her name wrong, Rosalia? I always mispronounce her name, but apparently Brie Larson's doing the voice of Rosalia. One of the Safdie brothers is doing the voice of Bowser Jr., which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rosalina. That's it. Rosalina. And you know what? Looks good. I didn't love the first Mario Brothers movie, but I was entertained by it. I had a good time watching it. That's all I asked of it. And I had a good time. If this can deliver that as well, great. So I thought a good first trailer, Rob. Anyway, you had a chance to see it. What did you think?
Well, some of the lore was lost upon me, but I really liked the look of it. I like the stuff that happened, just like in the first movie. I really liked the design work. I liked the evocation of the world, the Mario world. And I thought the opening with Bowser was great. And that was a great way to do it. And, you know, it was interesting because we didn't talk about this, but the Toy Story 5 teaser dropped too. You know, that dropped yesterday. And I was like, knowing what the premise of what Toy Story 5 was, I'm like, I'm in. That's a great, where they're going to go. I already know what
was the words on the screen? The age of toys is over.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah. And but when they pick up the iPad, I'm like, oh, there you go. Because we all know what that means. But this was that when I got to the end of the trailer, I've kind of felt the same way. I'm like, why is this going to be a Super Mario Galaxy movie? How's that going to be? And then I felt, okay, it felt big. It felt like they know where they're going. And I'm like, I'm in. I think visually, the way they're going to take this, this is weird, but there's a sense of wonder. Maybe it's only because I'm a big fan of, you know, going back to Donkey Kong in like 1980. I just like this universe. And to see that they're going to lean into that with the water and the space and the thing, I just was like, I'm kind of enchanted by this. I'm going to go see it.
I still remember the first trailer for the first movie just made me howl when you had the little penguin tribe and that voice, do you yield? And then they throw snowballs. I just thought that was great. So there was a little bit of echoes of that in the Rosalina part, like Princess Rosalina.
But this was just a teaser.
Just what teaser, but 2.5 minutes. So they had a good amount of stuff in there. Again, look good and fun. You know, the other thing, look, I know I should be over this by now because the first movie already, and I'm a big Chris Pratt fan. I think he's great. I love Chris Pratt.
I do too.
Yeah, I still don't think he was the right guy to get to play Mario.
Yeah, I still don't. Even when he said like that's trash,
it's
like,
trash. It doesn't
don't
sound like anything like
hear
Mario's supposed to sound like. Like, can you pretend to make him sound Italian?
I mean,
don't
like
know.
Luigi sounds like I could imagine him being Luigi, but yeah, it's weird.
But whatever. The first film made $1.3 billion, so who
Yeah.
are we to quibble? Anyway, guys, question is for you. Did you have a chance to see the new Mario Brothers Galaxy trailer? I thought it was pretty solid. Did you like it? Can it replicate the success of the first film? I don't think it can, but that doesn't mean it's still not going to be incredibly successful. Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, It's time for us to move on to the most important part of the show, which is, of course, taking your live comments and questions. But before we do, we got to do two things. One is bid good afternoon to Robert Meyer Burnett. Great job as always, my friend. We'll see you tomorrow.
I will be back tomorrow.
And we'll look forward to it.
With bells on.
And then, of course, the second thing we need to do is take a moment and thank the sponsor of today's episode of the John Campea Show, our friends at Zapier. Guys, we want to take a second to thank the sponsor of today's video, Zapier. You know, one of the biggest game changers of the past year has been AI. But let's be real, just talking about AI doesn't actually make your day any more productive. What does make it more productive is finding tools to put AI to work for you. And that's where Zapier comes in. Zapier is the easiest way to take AI and plug it directly into the apps and processes that you're already using every day. No IT bottlenecks, no complexity, just results. For me, it's been about saving time on repetitive stuff so I can focus on the work that matters and I actually enjoy. And it's not just me. Over 3.4 million companies are already using Zapier to streamline everything from sales and marketing to IT and HR. With their AI orchestration platform, you can connect top AI models like ChatGPT or Claude right into the apps you already use. So whether it's automatically enriching leads, coaching your sales team, or even resolving IT tickets, Zapier makes it simple. Guys, join the 3.4 million companies already automating with Zapier and transform how you work with Zapier and AI. Get started for free by visiting zapier.com/Campea. That's zapier.com/Campea. And thank you to our friends at Zapier for sponsoring today's episode of the John Campea Show. All right, guys, with that down, let's get on to your live comments and questions. By the way, I'm going to let you guys know, well, you guys have already been piling in the questions, which is great. So we don't want the show to go too awful long. So I am going to turn off the super chats in about 3 or 4 minutes. So if you still have a thought, theory, comment, observation you want to fire in, go ahead and do that now. But in about 3 or 4 minutes, I'm going to turn them off. So now's your chance. All right. What do we got up first?
First up, we got Oscar, who says, shout out to Plaza Theater, Weirton, for having a free screening of Predator Badlands for active military and veterans. From one soldier, salute.
Oh, I love hearing stuff like that. That's great. And especially it's a bonus when it's a really fun, good film to go watch. So I'm glad you guys had that experience, and that's great that your local theater did that for you, man. All right, what's next?
Isaac says, it's sad that Tatsuya Nakadai passed away. He appeared on my favorite movies like Ran, Yojimbo, High and Low, Harakiri, and The Sword of Doom. Passed away.
And the follow-up, Senjuro, and that I believe Akira Kurosawa wrote. Yeah, I mean, he was, if I remember right, I think he was like 92. But what a career, what a legacy he lives in. I'm going to probably go back and watch Ran again. All right. What's next?
Cutter with a $20 tip. Or not tip,
thank
but
you so much for that, Cutter.
Hey, John, really looking forward to meeting you next week in Austin. Weird question. If I bring a 4K copy of Mystery Men, would you sign it? I wouldn't know about that movie if it wasn't for you. Thanks.
Really? Oh, man, I love that movie so much. It was that is the movie that to me defines the term ahead of its time. Anyway, yes, it's crazy with the types of things some people get me to sign when we're there. But yes, if you bring it along and bring a marker, because I never have a marker on me, I will absolutely be happy to sign it. And I'll look forward to getting into Austin. I'm glad you're coming. All right, what's next?
We got X-Men Superfan Emma Frost. Last time I presumptively said Katharine Hepburn, Betty Davis, and Joan Crawford were the greatest actresses of all time. While asking about Viola Mera, would you agree with that? Oh, but we answered that.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with that at all. Like Meryl Streep is the greatest actress of all time. And you know, look, I've got a real soft spot in my heart for Katharine Hepburn. But like all the ones you just mentioned, they're in the conversation of the greats. But the Streep monster is, to me, it's not even a discussion. Like she's lapped the field. I believe she's the greatest actress of all time. I mean, the pure diversity of what she's been able to do with the characters that she plays, the way she just embodies them and brings them to life is unlike anything we've ever seen. Olivia Colman is really good at that too. But I mean, we're just talking about modern actresses today, but yeah, to me, I just think she supersedes all that's come before her as well. Even though those ones in the different eras were absolutely great, Streep's it. I really believe that. All right, what's next?
Brandon Bowers, will Running Man reviews hurt its box office?
Sorry, I missed that. Does Running Man's what?
The reviews hurt the box office.
No, because they're still quite good. I mean, the last I checked, it was 66%. Let me see if I can bring it up right now, which means, and I think it's still at that. It's 64%. Sorry, it was at 64%. So that means if you take 100 critics, which right now it's about at 100, that means 64 like it, 36 don't. So more than almost double the amount of critics like it than don't. I don't think it's going to particularly help its opening weekend, because remember, it's projected to have a pretty low opening weekend, as most Edgar Wright films do. But I don't think it's going to hurt it at all, because again, it's almost a 2-to-1 ratio of critics that like it versus the ones that don't. So we'll see. All right, what's next?
Ethan Hall says, "Hey John, I love the show. Found out about a year ago. Haven't missed an episode since then. Which will make more money at the movies, Toy Story 5 or Mario Galaxy?" I think we had answered something like that. I still think.
Well,
Toy
the
Story.
question that somebody asked included Zootopia.
Right.
This one doesn't. So, yeah, I don't think either makes $1 billion, and that's fine. They're both going to make a lot of money.
Or it included Minions.
Or was
3.
it Minions that was included?
Minions 3, which it was still like that was our last of the.
Yeah, I'm going to go Toy Story 5.
Me too.
Yeah, again, I don't think either
think
makes $1 billion. I think they can be close. I think it will be close.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be shocked if it's Mario Brothers, but I'm going to go with Toy Story 5.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
Okay, Dick Tracy says, "Hey John, did you hear about the Legend of Zelda movie being filmed out in New Zealand? If anything, it sure is going to look sprawling and epic."
Not necessarily. I mean, look, I believe it will, but just because you're in a good place, listen, what made Lord of the Rings look so spectacular is one part New Zealand, but is other part having a cinematographer that can capture it in such a way that it really complements and enhances the environment you're in and have it working with the story that you have. You can be in the most gorgeous place in the world and not necessarily have it look all that good. It all depends on the cinematography. But yes, shooting in New Zealand definitely gives it a bit of an advantage. And I'm actually really excited about this movie. And it may end up being a complete disaster, but I think the potential upside for a live action Zelda movie is really high. And if they can do it right, and they got a really good director on board, if they can do it right, I think this can be great. So I'm pretty excited about it. All right, what's next?
Right here. Weesh says, "Hey John and company, no question, but I just wanted to say how much I love this show. I watch it almost every single day now. Found you guys around June. Been watching ever since. Keep up the good work."
Wow, you're a recent person coming. Well, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. It's again, I always say this, but it's always nice when somebody wants to write in just to be encouraging. So thank you for that. It's great to have you here, and thanks for being a part of our community. I appreciate that very much. All right, what's next?
Shriji says, "Ticket watch for Avatar now with Doomsday attached."
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned. I said that earlier in the show. I said now with this and all that kind of stuff.
It's not a crazy time.
It all depends on when. Like if tickets go on sale at 3 a.m., no. If they go on sale at like 7 p.m. on a certain night, yes. So I'm going to keep my eyes open for, and by the way, if any of you guys find out officially when the tickets go on sale for Avatar, Fire and Ash, do let me know. And if it's in a reasonable hour, we'll definitely schedule a ticket watch. All right, what's next?
All right, Brian says, "Hi, John. Despite movies being subjective, is there any objectivity in film critic reviews? Also, who picks music for the soundtracks?" I mean, there's a music supervisor, but ultimately they're under the director.
Yeah, it's so anything with a movie, a director will have multiple department heads. But at the end of the day, and they make all those decisions, but then all of them got to get approved by the director. So the real answer, I mean, the most direct answer to Jonathan's point is the music supervisor. The real answer, though, is even though they pick it, the director's got to approve it. So it's a team effort. It's a team effort between the two.
Fun fact about me and my career change from accounting and finance. I was going to step into the world of movies as a music supervisor. And then I think
you told me that once before.
And then I fell in love with editing. And I realized you actually have a little more control with editing. So
what was the other part? That was the second part of the question. What was the first part of the question?
Just is there any objectivity to film criticism?
No, there's no objectivity to film criticism. The only thing you can ever say objectively are things that can be quantifiably measured. So you can say in a film in a film review, this movie was 2 hours and 19 minutes long. Well, you can quantifiably measure that, sure. But anything other than that is just subjective. The jokes weren't funny. That's funny. The other film critic said it was funny. Is one of you lying? No, it's just that to the one film critic, the jokes came across as funny. To another film critic, they didn't. There is no objectivity. It's all subjective. Remember, movies are experiential events. And the degree to which we experience anything is going to vary by individual.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no anybody who tells you there's any objectivity in film simply doesn't understand art and doesn't understand what
I think
film
the
is.
only thing beyond that is like if there's like an unintentional mistake that was left in and it's bad but that's like amateur hour.
But then you can quantify that.
That's amateur hour. Yeah,
that
so
you can
fix it.
quantify that.
Mhm.
You can say the title was misspelled. Okay, you can go in and quantify that.
Right.
To say that scene was pretty, well, that's an expression of your experience, which is subjective. So, yeah, no, there is no objective film reviews. All right, what's next?
We got X-Men superfan Emma Frost. Thoughts of Margot Martindale as an actor?
I can't remember who she is off the top of my head.
I don't either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can't answer that. I'm
Sorry about that.
What's next?
D. Wild finally saw Frankenstein in theaters yesterday.
Oh,
I didn't realize it was still out.
I didn't realize it was still available in theaters. Guys, look, you should watch it, period. And if the only option you have to watching the new Frankenstein, the Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein, is on Netflix, then by all means watch it on Netflix. But you're robbing yourself a little bit because it's such a beautiful film. You can only truly fully experience in a movie theater, which I was lucky enough to do. You were lucky enough to do. So if you have the option and opportunity, I highly recommend it. It's a great viewing experience. All right, what's next?
Fried Cheese Macaroni Ball says Toy Story 6 plot. Toys try to escape Rob's shelf.
Oh, Toy Story 6 plot.
And he keeps bringing them back.
Won't let them out of their boxes.
Nah.
Won't let them out of their original packaging. I go see that. All right, what's next?
The Aqua Chicken with a $20 super chat.
Oh, thank you, Aqua Chicken.
Hey, Campy Crew. We've been getting a couple of these now. I've been watching daily since about the middle of the summer. Just wanted to thank you and the team for keeping me entertained these last few months. I'm looking forward to meeting you in Austin.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I gotta tell you guys, I have really fallen in love with these movie meetups. First of all, because I wasn't being facetious when we set them up, when I said, I'm hoping 2, 3, maybe 4 people will show up at them and we get to hang out and talk for just a little bit. And the turnouts to these things have been overwhelming. I think is the best way I know how to put them. So both Ann and I have such a wonderful time at these movie meetups, and I'm looking forward to Dallas. I'm looking forward to Austin. Can't wait for Orlando. I'm looking forward to meeting all you guys. And again, thank you so much for being a new recent viewer. It's good to have you here, and thanks for sending that in. We appreciate the support, man. All right, what's next?
Alejandro says, overreaction. Avengers Doomsday will be the most viewed trailer of all time, passing Deadpool and Wolverine's 365 views in 24 hours.
No, I don't think that's an overreaction.
No.
For a couple of reasons. One, because it's highly anticipated. But 2, I think there's even a lot of people who might just watch it hoping to see a disaster. There are going to be people, I think, who don't like Marvel that are going to watch it to try to find something to complain about. So, yeah, man, listen, do I think it's any kind of a lock, stock guarantee that it's going to surpass Deadpool and Wolverine as the most viewed trailer of all time? I don't think it's a guarantee, but I wouldn't bet against it. So I'm going to say that's not an overreaction. All right, what's next?
We got X-Men Superfan who says excited for Devil Wears Prada 2.
It's funny. I was talking to Jonathan about it because you've said you've never seen it, right? The original one?
Right.
And listen, I'm not the target audience for Devil Wears Prada. But even I got to say, it's a damn good movie. It's just a really good film. And the new teaser that just dropped for Devil Wears Prada 2 today, there's really not much to it.
No.
But my wife loves the original film. And so this morning when it came out, I said, hey, Ann, they just dropped the new Devil Wears Prada. She goes, let's watch it. And so we watched it, and they turned to her to say, what did you think? And she's like, I'm crying already.
Wasn't even a crying movie.
No, it was just two characters in an elevator. She goes, I'm crying already. But yeah, listen, I think the first movie is great. This thing that came out today is clearly the definition of just a little tease.
Sure.
It's just a little tease thing. I don't even know, honestly, I don't even know that scene in the trailer is even going to be in the movie. But yeah, so it is what it is. But I'm looking forward to seeing the second film.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what's next?
We got Pablo says Sabrina has been attached pitching this since 2021. Talking about the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, irrelevant. Or Alice in Wonderland.
Well, yeah, Alice in Wonderland.
Irrelevant. Again, you do Wicked, you go out and get two of the most powerhouse vocalists on the planet. And this one, you go out to get a flavor of the month pop star who's 2 shades above a karaoke lounge singer. So I don't know. Again, I hope to have the same experience that I had watching Lady Gaga at the Oscars and go, well, wow, we had that wrong. I hope that's the experience we have with this Alice in Wonderland. I hope it ends up great. All right, what's next?
We got Pal Days who says, saw X-Men Origins Frankenstein. Not what I thought. It looked beautiful, just couldn't get locked into the story. Thankfully, I didn't go to the theaters.
Man, I tell you what, that's the thing that sold me on was the story.
And you may have liked it more in theaters.
Maybe, yeah. But like for me, it was the story. And it touches on humanity and what is humanity and all that kind of stuff. I thought the performances were great. Again, I'm not ready to proclaim it my favorite Guillermo del Toro film of all time. That is obviously still Pan's Labyrinth. But give me a year to think about it. It might. Like, that's how much I like this movie. But anyway, we all have different experiences with it. But like for me, I thought the story was quite exceptional. And it's okay if it didn't hit you the same way. All right, what's next?
Let's see. We got X-Men who says, would you like to see Viola Davis and Meryl Streep do a film together? How would the news go down with you? Oh, I think it'd be amazing.
Yeah, look,
2 powerhouses?
Yeah, whenever you get something like, hey, Daniel Day-Lewis and Robert De Niro are going to do a film together.
Well, I was thinking even Robert De Niro and then Al Pacino. You know, we've seen
which
that.
they've done. By the way, what was that one terrible movie they did with 50 Cent?
Oh, man.
I'm not talking about Heat. They did one other movie, and 50 Cent is the other guy in it.
Yeah.
And it was terrible. But that aside, so yeah, whenever you get a movie coming out and you get
Righteous Kill,
and you get absolute powerhouse performances in there together. Oh yeah, that's always something to get excited about. Absolutely. All right, what's next?
We got Jake who says, which 2026 month will have the highest box office? April with Mario and Michael, July with Odyssey and Spider-Man. Oh, see, this is getting tough. And then December with Doomsday and Dune.
Okay, keep that up there for a second.
Boy, that is tough.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, first of all, how big is 2026 going to be?
Much needed.
All right. I'm going to go Odyssey and Spider-Man. Not that either Odyssey or Spider-Man will be the biggest necessarily, but I think on average, those two films, are both billion-dollar film. Oh my God, but Doomsday.
I feel like it's so Doomsday and Dune.
You know what? I changed my mind. You're right. Just because Doomsday is going to make. Look, listen, it's possible.
Yeah.
That Doomsday makes more than Odyssey and what was the other one? And Spider-Man combined.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it will. I'm saying theoretically it's possible that Doomsday could make more than both those movies combined. So you add, yeah, you're right, Jonathan. I'm going to go with you on that. I changed my mind. It's going to be Doomsday and Dune. But 2026 is shaping up for us to be eating good. Us movie fans, I think we're going to be eating good and maybe eating a lot because again, those all look like really, really big films.
Yep.
All right, what's next?
Good question. Hollow Lord. Got to scroll up. Hi, John. Have you seen Neighborhood with Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Jack Quaid, story deal? Jack's character's been abused by father and mental problems, and there's a missing woman. I haven't heard of this
Nope.
neighborhood.
No, I'm not familiar with it. And I love Jack Quaid. I love Jeffrey
Yeah.
Dean Morgan, but this was clearly never a film that was in theaters. But so no, I've not seen it, unfortunately. But thank you for putting it on my radar, though, because I love both those guys.
We
All right,
got
what's next?
D Wild, who says, I feel the movie version of Bowser is based on Jack Black in the games. He was menacing, but now he seems like it's Jack Black just riffing and is in Minecraft again. They might give him a lot of riffing material. He may not
remember
be the main
this
villain.
came before Mario came out before Minecraft. I
Yes.
mean, and let's, dude, much like you, I've been playing Mario games my whole life. Bowser never came across as a horror movie character. There's always been some levity to it, and that's always kind of been there. Let's not mischaracterize the whole thing and pretend like Bowser was this dark, evil, like horror icon, the fuel of nightmares. There's always been a jovial edge to it in the games and all that kind of stuff. Now, did Jack Black take that even just a little bit more further? Sure, because it's in a movie. Now you gotta hype that up a little bit more. But I honestly don't see it as that big of a departure myself. I just don't see it as that big of a departure.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
We got Stunna Williams. Did you watch the Dracula trailer? I love it. I didn't know there was. Is it animated? Is it like straight to streaming?
Let me see if I can find something here.
Yeah.
Dracula trailer.
Because I haven't heard anything.
There is a Dracula trailer. Christoph Waltz is in it.
Okay.
So no. Oh, it says it came out yesterday. No, I wasn't aware that this thing dropped yesterday. Ooh, and nobody's watched it. The official channel for it, it's only got
Dracula
100,000 views.
Wow.
I'll watch it later. But no, I didn't even know this
I
thing
wonder if it's
dropped.
like an indie German film or something.
Yeah,
So-
probably.
All
All right, what's next?
We got William, who says, hey, John, Dispatches, it's a video game. Final 2 episodes come out today. I love the story so far. Warning, episode 4 starts off pretty crazy.
You know what?
I've heard of Dispatch, but I haven't.
I cannot wait to get my hands on this.
Nice.
Somebody brought it up on the show last week. I'm like, oh, I'm not really sure. But then I watched the trailer for it. I'm like, oh my God, they played the preview for this at the Video Game Awards like 2 years ago. And I remember being excited about it. I really want to get my hands on it. The problem is that I'm facing right now is that I don't have a PC. And I'm about to go on the road for 2 weeks for the movie meetup tour. And I don't want to bring my giant PS5 in the van. I want to bring the Nintendo Switch. So I'm not quite sure I might have to wait till I get back from the movie meetup tour to play it. I mean, there's an option to get, there's this service that you can get on a Mac to play your Steam library and buy it in Steam, but I'm not quite sure if that would work. Some people saying Steam Deck. I don't have a Steam Deck. I have a Nintendo Switch. So I don't know. We'll see, but I can't wait to try because I think it looks great. Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad does the voice of the lead character. So I'm really looking forward to trying it out. All right, what's next?
We got was it Mumra from us guys. For us guys, bring back slow motion step feature, a la Click Movie. More value for a streamer. Cheap idea when costs are rising. Bring back chapter select. I'm not sure what that's in.
Well, I mean, the thing is with streaming movies, you can scrub through the movies so fast. Again, you know what? There is something to be said, though, about bringing up a chapter menu and just saying, hey, jump to this without having to scrub through to find it.
Yeah, I haven't messed with chapters in a long time.
Yeah, again, because I haven't bought physical media in like 10 years. But you know what? My first thought was to say, you don't need it.
Sometimes
scrubbing is so fast. But now that you mention it,
yeah,
I probably wouldn't mind having chapter selects back.
I mean, sometimes you go plaid and you go way past it. And you
yes.
gotta come back.
Yeah. I like that idea, actually. Bring back chapters for streaming. I like that idea.
I like it.
All right, what's next?
X-Men Superfan. I don't think we've ever been asked this. Thoughts on Memoirs of a Geisha?
Ooh, Ji Zhang, Ken Watanabe. You know, I remember at the time there was a lot of controversy because, you know, Ji Zhang is not Japanese. And I think I was still doing the movie blog at the time. I think when that came out. And I think that was the first time that I said something that a lot of people hate that I say.
Uh-huh.
I don't care. Actors.
I don't care.
Actors play characters that they are not. Isn't that crazy?
It's weird.
Actors play characters that they're not. So if you got a movie where you're playing some big Italian character, I don't need the actor playing it to be Italian. I hope you can play an Italian, like do that well. If you can't, then find somebody else. But I don't care. Oh, this Superman isn't from England. Well, I don't care. Superman's not from Earth. I'm pretty sure that movie I saw with Adolf Hitler in it, pretty sure they didn't go out and find a real Nazi.
Or did they?
Or did they? Actors play characters that they are not in real life. So I didn't really care. I'm not saying other people shouldn't care. I'm not saying if you have an issue with it that's wrong. I'm not saying that. But for me, I don't care. I'm just being honest. I don't care. Actors play characters that they are not in real life. Period. So I don't really care. But I like the movie. Of course, for a short window of time, Ji Zhang, though, was my movie crush. So I would have been okay with her paying
I don't think you
Mary
were alone.
Poppins. I really don't care. All right. What's next?
We got King Daddy Goat thoughts on Keeper coming Friday by Osgood Perkins. Fun fact, that's Anthony Perkins' son.
Wait, which one is Keeper again?
Uh,
I know it. Hold on a second. Now I got to bring it up. I know. I feel like I was just talking about this movie and I'm just freezing on it. Oh, the one with Tatiana Maslany,
Yes.
where it's like the psychological horror one.
Yeah.
Yes. Looks really good. I love these kind of low budget, one environment kind of stories. Again, I don't know if it's going to be any good or not, but I think it looks like it's got a lot of potential. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Osgood Perkins. He was in The Monkey too. Check
That's
out
right, yeah.
his brother Elvis Perkins is a great musician. Check out his song Doomsday. My little tip of the day. We got Monkey Tongue. Do you think Michael Jackson's controversy will help or hurt the biopic?
It depends in which context.
Yeah.
Will it hurt in how it's received? Maybe. But will it hurt in how many people go to see it?
No.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it will. And I don't think the controversy is going to help it either. Just the overwhelming fame of Michael Jackson and how his music is basically was the soundtrack of the planet for a decade or more. That's what's going to influence things. So do I see the controversy hurting its in terms of people buying tickets? No. Could it hurt it depending on how people respond to it? Maybe, but I don't think it's going to impact how it does.
All right. Here's our last super chat of the day.
All right.
Brother Darkness, Mario Galaxy is an okay idea probably, but better than that movie. But better than that would be a movie based on Ghost and Goblins video game and make a connected Nintendo universe.
I used to play Ghost and Goblins
It's impossible.
so much. It's a tough game.
The impossible. It's literally,
especially when that red devil started flying over you.
I didn't even know this, but I watched people then play it. Like, you literally have to beat it, and then you find out it was a dream, and you have to play it again, and then you beat it. And then you can't beat it unless you get the axe, which you have to be depowered to get the axe and know to get the axe ahead of time. Dude, it's crazy.
It was a tough game. I really liked it, though. Doesn't have much of a story to it, but
No.
then again, now they're just Lego, and they made a great movie out of that. I don't know that it would do particularly well. I don't think many people care about Ghosts and Goblins the way that you found the right people here. Jonathan, we'll go see it. I don't think a lot of other people would, but Mario is Mario, man.
Do they own Castlevania, the IP, or is that not owned by Nintendo?
I do not
think
believe
they
it's not owned by Nintendo.
Konami does that. Yeah, never mind.
It's
they
licensed.
Yeah. That was it. So
All right, guys. And that'll do it for today's installment of the John Campea Show. Thank you so much for being here and making our little show a part of your day. Hey, big special thanks to all you guys who sent in questions. Number one, because you gave us great fun things to talk about. But number two, you supported this channel as you did it. And all of us involved with the show. Thank you guys so very much. for your support. Hey guys, don't forget to come on back and join us again tomorrow. We'll look forward to seeing you then. Big thanks to Robert Meyer Burnett for being here. Of course, our technical producer, Jonathan Voico.
See you guys later.
My name's John Campea, and until next time, my friends, bye-bye.